Hey everyone, and welcome to the Xbox Ultimate channel. Today we're going to have a look at Last Oasis at 4K on the Xbox Series X. And the good thing to start with is that the trailers are not lying. Yes, you can build those walkers and those fantastic machines that you see in the trailers. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, let's have a look at the start of this game. It comes with an hour free trial as its game preview, and this is an absolutely fantastic idea to have a look at what this game is all about. I'm in Europe, so let's hit the Europe server and start having a look at one of the games here. If you're familiar with the Rust style gameplay, then you'll be able to navigate the server screens quite easily. So I've just picked an official server here and I'm going to hop in. The character options for customization are quite vast. You can choose pretty much everything here, from the body, skin type and sex to all the different hairstyles and all the other bits and pieces. And then we can dive into the server. Now the way that this starts, I'm not going to spoil the gameplay or the storyline, but it is quite an interesting start, and the intro animation here just sets the standard for the game. Now once you're in, you'll be familiar with what's going on if you're into any of the survival type games, Rust being one that springs to mind the most often. But just look at the quality of the graphics here. They are so much better than what we've seen before, at least in my eyes, and this is only the Xbox One version, so I'd be so happy if this comes to Game Pass or even receives a Series X or S upgrade. But for now, even the Xbox One graphics here are absolutely superb. Now the game does give you quite a good tutorial to get you through most of the stages, and you've got these achievements that give you a good stead throughout the game. Unlike some of the others, you do have to craft your weapons to build up quite early on, and you don't get things like hatchets until a bit later in the game. There's quite a lot of these primates around, so you do need to be able to defend yourself and use these to pick up some of the stuff you need early in the game. Overall, the tech tree is absolutely phenomenal. There is so much to do in this game and so much to craft and build. I'm only going to be scratching the surface here and building that walker that you saw at the beginning. But it is really in depth, and from what I've seen, the collaborative gameplay and the number of servers, that there are just absolutely tons of people playing this game, and you're not going to have an issue finding a server with people in or for people to play with. As with all of these type of survival games, you are going to spend a lot of your time harvesting and building and collecting and building up your tech tree. So let's see what I'm going to be doing here on getting this walker built. So after lots of farming and lots of harvesting, and then getting into some of the kind of medicine bits and pieces to be able to stay alive, because you do fight quite a lot. So you do need to make sure that you look after your health, and obviously make sure that you drink water or eat the food that you can to keep your energy levels up. So once you've managed to get to a certain point and you've managed to beat lots of these primates, then you can start building your walker. Now it's a very interesting concept. The way that you have to build this, you have to kind of build a bench to start building your walker, and then you have to fill in all of the bits and pieces as you go along. So you see that the progress here, I needed to do 13 sections. So it's not just a farm the resources, build and you're done, which was a little bit frustrating, but also a little bit more rewarding because you could see the progress. So fortunately there is an abundance of materials around, and this is before I had a hatchet, so it was quite a lot of running around. But it did make it extremely satisfying when I finally got those last sections on and was able to hop in and just look at the fantastic contraption or firefly walker that's been created. And just look at the quality and the detail of all the moving parts here, especially as we set off. Ignore the little glitch between the hands there, but the detail of the actual walker itself and the mechanisms as we pan around are just absolutely superb for this type of game. Now these sections, or Oasis, do seem to be capped at 25 people at the moment, or at least the servers that I've seen, but I can imagine you can get quite a lot of people running around, and these areas are also quite big. So once I got that hatchet, it's really starting to set me up to be able to start upgrading my walker. Obviously later on you're going to be able to put some fantastic contraptions against it as well, but just doing the upgrades, and again you can see those achievements or that kind of path being laid out for me to pick what I need to do. But once you upgrade your walker, you can add things like the campfire to it and set off exploring the world. Now just look at the stuff in the distance here, the draw distance and the quality of those mountains and the rock formations just looks superb. And this is definitely a game that you could get lost in for quite some time, especially as there's no ambient music really either. So you can either play your own music or just get lost in the peace and quiet. Let us know in the comments below what you think in comparison of this game compared to things like Rust and Valheim. Personally, I think this is one of the best thought out and visually appealing games out of that genre, and I'll definitely be looking a bit more of this, or at least keeping an eye on it and hoping it comes to Game Pass. Thanks for watching, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Xbox and Game Pass Ultimate, and we will see you next time.